You can now get a 30-day trial to experience The Athletic for free. Visit the link in the description below to try it now.
Hello, this is Tifo IRL and I am JJ Bull. And in this video, I am joined by Tom Worville, who is trapped inside a scattergram.
Yeah, I'm stuck. I can't get out.
How did you get inside the scattergram, Tom?
I joined in February 2020 and I haven't left since.
Tom Worville is stuck in a scattergram. Tom Worville is stuck in a scattergram. A scattergram is a graphic representation of points referencing two variables. So, can you please explain to me what the hell a scattergram is and what this one is?
Absolutely. So what we've got here is the x-axis on the bottom. We've got nice non-penalty goals per 90 because penalties are cheating. And on the y-axis, we've got assists. So who the guys are creating goals. And what we care about between them is a couple of guys we're going to pick out. Maybe the guys at the bottom who are only getting assists. Guys here only getting goals. And some interesting names between us, which we want to talk about from a tactical point of view, how they get the numbers they get. I
can probably help with that a little bit. I've noticed from the scattergram, which I can see the scattergram, which Tom is trapped inside, sadly. But I've noticed that Lewis Muriel appears to be the best player on earth, and I thought that was not him.
Yeah, no, this is very much over here. Lewis Muriel, right at the back. If I do that, my hand will cut off, and I don't really want to do that.
No, keep that. We don't know what goes beyond the scattergram.
So what Lewis Muriel obviously did a lot of is score a lot of goals. He scored 40 goals in about 30 games worth of minutes, so over a goal a game on average. For an Atalanta side, which very much score goals for fun, really. And yeah, he's by far and away the most kind of efficient, productive player in terms of goals per 90 that we've got on this scatter chart. More than Robert Lewandowski, more than Erling Haaland, more than Lionel Messi. And it's something that he's kept up this season as well. So yeah, really one who played with injuries, but when he's fit, plays really, really well.
So that means he scores a lot of goals, but also assists a lot.
Yeah, he does. Probably a bit more surprising than you'd expect. Does link up well with Atalanta's other attackers. Duvan Zapata, Russell Malinowski as well, who's on here. Him and those guys, yeah, links up pretty well and does do his fair share of creating it too.
So Robert Lewandowski, who is slightly below him, is he just mainly goals then? Is that what this means, being that down there?
Yeah, very much. Lewandowski, I mean, he's such a pure goal scorer that he's not really going to match his assist output, even if he did get a few assists. He scored so many goals. I mean, he broke Gerd Muller's record last year, of course. But yeah, he does provide a few assists. I mean, he's probably in the lower percentiles of players there, but definitely more of a kind of lethal finisher, taking advantage of his side's creativity elsewhere.
Where's Thomas Muller? Is he in here?
Thomas Muller is around here. He's right there. And he is a man who 18 assists last year, 11 goals. Probably a bit of a bounce back of form for Muller, really. We've not seen too much of him in recent seasons, putting up numbers that good. But really a great assist season from him.
18 assists?
18 assists. That's a lot of assists.
Now, I've been watching Thomas Muller because I have access to football. And the reason Muller can do this sort of thing is Bayern Munich always play in a 4-2-3-1, which looks kind of like this. Now, you think a 10 is just like a static player who only stays in this sort of position here. But Muller likes to not invade space. What does he do?
No, he's Space Invader, I think. Yeah.
Is it Space Inspector? Something like that. He invades the space, is what he does. So Muller is constantly moving always to where the space is. Often you'll find him with a lot of assists. He'll be in these sorts of positions here, out wide on the right. And so he can make these sort of early crosses into the box for Lewandowski to get on the end of. However, what he also does is pop up on the left side when he needs to. But he sort of plays like a 10 and a second striker and an inside forward all at the same time. He's essentially an extra player. So he doesn't always have to be in this bit here. And what you'll find sometimes is Bayern get forward, Muller pops up exactly at the right time here to poke a ball through for Lewandowski to score. So the fact that he's got so many assists and Lewandowski has so many goals is obviously directly linked.
Yeah, completely. I guess from what you've shown us there, it's interesting the variety of different assists that he has, which I guess poses the question, is he one of the more diverse assisters in the top 5 European leagues?
I would assume so. From the things I've seen, headers, left foot, right foot, all different places in front of the pitch, I would have thought the most, that's where you're going with this one, would be Messi.
Yeah.
And where's Messi on the scattergram?
It's always Messi though, isn't it? So
he's good though.
He's somewhere. He's right next to Erling Haaland over here. So he's one who this season actually had a pretty poor year in terms of assists. I think it was his second worst assist per 90 season in a Barcelona shirt. So we think of Messi as a creator, a progressor and a scorer. This season, more of a scorer than a creator really, but perhaps he'll bounce back at PSG.
I know why that is. So he's not the same sort of player anymore. He's not as much of a playmaker, because what he does in the Barca system last season, they played this sort of 3-5-2, and he just played as one of the supporting strikers. So he played alongside a player whose name I've completely forgotten. In fact, this was Messi. I'll give him the number 10. Who plays up front for Barcelona with him?
Antoine Griezmann or Martin Braithwaite?
It was Griezmann played with him. Yeah, there we go. It's good to have you trapped in the scattergram. So what Messi would do often is they'll get in, obviously you get your width from your wing backs, because he doesn't play in this right wing space anymore. It is pretty much just here. It's a free roll. So he will drop into here. When basically doesn't play make, he does, but he does it from deeper positions, tends to drop around these sorts of areas here. And then when the attack actually gets into the final third or something, he'll be joined by one of his midfield pals. But he is basically a forward, and you'll see him often up front in the 2, and when they engage early, he'll be part of the 2 as well. But he floats all around. That's probably why he's there with so many goals. He's changed, haven't we all?
Yeah, we do, day by day, apart from in the scatter plot. But what we do have, I mean, you mentioned something there, JJ, about dropping from deep and assisting and creating. I think Harry Kane is one we should definitely point out.
Oh yes, please do.
He's someone who, I mean, won the Premier League Golden Boot last year. He won the inaugural Playmaker of the Year award, I think, as well. Most assists, essentially. And we see here there's a pretty nice relationship between the number of assists he gets, weird hand movement there, the number of assists he gets and the number of goals he gets. So he's someone who was creating a lot from deep, but also scoring a lot as well, because it's non-penalty goals. We've taken out some of the freebies he gets. But yeah, I mean, Harry Kane, definitely an interesting one to highlight as well.
I think I've seen a thing that you wrote about, Tom, available in The Athletic, which you could subscribe to. But, Kane is a 9, you think he's a straight 9, but often he works as the sort of deeper player, so he drops deeper. In the past, you'll have Dele Alli running beyond him to be like the striker, the furthest point forward. You often see in average position maps that Kane is slightly deeper than the furthest forward. And it drags defenders out of the way, kind of helps with that. So systemically it helps by dragging players out of position, drag them with him. But he's also very good at passing the ball through lines and getting the team up the pitch. However, I would like to look at another player now who is interesting. Have you heard of Cristiano Ronaldo before?
Kind of rings a bell.
He's joking, because he does.
He's done here.
He started as a winger, obviously, but now all he appears to do, according to the scattergram, as I understand it, is shoot and score. Is that it?
Yeah, that's his role now, scoring pretty much. Juve last year only had 2 assists, so perhaps wasn't as creative as he's been before. He would get more touches in the box last season than what we've kind of seen for him before. In possession, kind of drifts out to the wings at times, but I think it's more one of those of get the ball out wide, pass it to a kind of crosser, and then make that run into the box. And really last year, he scored a lot. He didn't really create too much.
Yeah, I'm just thinking the amount of goals you see him score with his head. One of the last goals I saw him score was that one for Juventus. A towering header, as they would say.
Yeah.
In pundit world, which is another thing some people are trapped in.
I'd probably rather be in pundit world because there's more people there.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to talk about today. That's us done now, and hopefully we can do more of these, unless you find a way out of the scattergram.
Impossible.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is home to some of the world's best sports journalists, including David Ornstein, Daniel Taylor, Ollie Kay, Amy Lawrence and Rafa Honigstein. There are journalists dedicated to each Premier League team, so every fan gets the coverage they deserve, not just the big clubs. And you can try it for free now for 30 days. See the link in the description.